Did you know that deep inside you lives a powerful archetype capable of turning your thoughts into reality? Carl Jung called it the magician. And today, you're going to learn how to awaken this ancient inner force to start manifesting the life you truly desire. Because the real difference between people who achieve their goals and those who only dream about them isn't luck. It lies in understanding the deep psychological secrets you're about to discover. Let me ask you something straight up. How many times have you set a clear goal, made lists, planned every step of the way, but by the end of the year, you're still stuck in the same place? Ever wondered why some people seem to have a magic wand that turns ideas into reality while you're constantly wrestling with inner resistance? The answer lies in something Jung discovered decades ago. Each of us carries powerful archetypes within, universal patterns of psychic energy that shape how we experience the world. And among them, the magician is the one that transforms thought into matter. But here's the catch. For most people, this archetype lies dormant. Why? Because it's been buried under years of social conditioning, a system that taught us to be victims of circumstance instead of creators of our own reality. But that ends today. Today, you're going to awaken your inner magician. You're about to learn 5 profound psychological secrets that will forever change how you relate to your goals. And by the end of this video, not only will you understand why you've been stuck, you'll have the exact tools to start manifesting what your soul truly wants. Are you ready for this transformation? Before we dive in, let me ask for a small favor. If this message is already resonating with something inside you, if you feel like you need to hear this right now, please hit the like button. It helps me reach more people who, like you, are ready to step into their true power. Now let's begin with the first fundamental truth that will completely shift how you see manifestation. Most people think achieving goals is an external process. They believe they need more money, more time, more opportunities. But Jung uncovered something truly revolutionary. Your external world is nothing more than a reflection of your internal state. The magician archetype works based on this universal principle. As above, so below. As within, so without. In other words, the world outside you mirrors what's happening inside you. So if you want to change what you're attracting, you have to start with your own psyche. Have you noticed how, when you're in a negative mental state, you start attracting frustrating experiences? Or how, when you feel confident and empowered, opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere? That's not coincidence. That's the magician in action. Your inner state is the magnet that attracts or repels everything you experience. Jung put it brilliantly. What you deny in yourself will appear in your life as fate. That means the parts of yourself you reject, the parts you don't want to see, eventually show up in your reality as obstacles, setbacks, and emotional pain. But here's where the magic begins. The moment you start to integrate those rejected parts, your external world stops fighting you. It starts cooperating with you. So ask yourself, what parts of yourself have you been rejecting? Your ambition, your need for recognition, your desire for abundance, your competitive edge. Let me give you your first magician exercise. For the next 3 days, every time something bothers you in the outside world, ask, what part of me is being reflected in this situation? If someone seems arrogant, explore your own relationship with arrogance. If a situation brings up feelings of scarcity, look at your internal beliefs about abundance. This is how you begin to awaken your magical awareness. Now for the second truth you need to understand. The magician doesn't operate from the logical mind. He draws from what Jung called the transcendent function. That's the psyche's ability to hold 2 opposing forces and create a third, completely new path, a way forward that didn't exist before. Let me make this practical. Have you ever been torn between 2 options, and neither one felt quite right? The rational mind tells you it's either this or that. But the magician whispers, there's another way you haven't seen yet. That's the difference between people who reach extraordinary goals and those who settle for average lives. Magicians of manifestation learn to tap into this transcendent function. They don't get trapped in either or thinking. They create brand new realities. Jung observed that when you consciously integrate the opposites within you, something new, something powerful, is born. When you can be ambitious and humble, firm and compassionate, passionate and unattached to the outcome, that's when you access a level of manifestation most people never even dream of. Ever had a goal you truly wanted, but deep down, You were also afraid of it. One part of you chased it, while another sabotaged your every move. That's inner conflict. That's two opposing forces pulling you apart. And the magician's work is to find the point of synthesis. Here's your second magical exercise. Take a goal you've been avoiding done on one piece of paper. Write all the reasons you want it done on another. Write all the reasons you fear it or feel resistance. Now, instead of fighting the fear, ask, how can I honor both my desire and my fear? What new way of approaching this goal would allow both sides to feel heard? This is how you activate the transcendent function. And suddenly, new options appear that were invisible before. Now we're getting to something very few people truly understand about manifestation. You know the real difference between those who actually achieve their goals and those who spend their whole lives waiting. The true magicians, the ones who manifest with ease, have learned to tell the difference between a desire born from the ego and a calling that comes from the soul. See, the ego wants things to feel important, to prove something, to fill a void. But the soul doesn't need to prove anything. It wants to express who you truly are. It wants to create beauty, share your gifts, and leave a meaningful impact. And here's the truth. When you try to manifest from the ego, you meet constant resistance. But when your manifestation comes from the soul, the entire universe starts to support you. Jung was crystal clear on this. He said, "The meaning of my existence is that life has posed a question to me, or vice versa. I am a question addressed to life, and I must provide my answer." Your real power to manifest gets activated the moment your goals align with the question your soul came here to answer. How do you know if a goal is coming from your ego or your soul? It's actually simple. Soul-aligned goals energize you, even when they challenge you. They make you excited to wake up. They make you feel more alive. Ego-driven goals, they drain you. They make you anxious. They pull you into comparison with others. They make you feel like you're never enough. Let me share a technique that completely changed my life. It's called the deathbed test. When you're thinking about a goal, imagine yourself at the very end of your life, lying on your deathbed. From that perspective, ask yourself, if I achieved this goal, would it really matter? Would I feel complete? Or would I still feel like something's missing? The goals that pass this test are the ones that carry real power, the ones that are worth pursuing. Because when you manifest from the soul, you're not just creating something for yourself. You're becoming part of the evolution of consciousness itself. And that energy? That energy is unstoppable. Here's your third magician exercise. Take a fresh look at all your current goals. Then ask yourself honestly, does this goal bring me closer to my true self or pull me away from it? Goals that take you away from your essence will drain you. But goals that bring you home to yourself will multiply your energy, often exponentially. And yet, there's something even deeper you need to understand. This is where real transformation begins. The magician archetype carries a hidden secret that few people ever realize. We don't manifest what we want. We manifest what we are. Your outer reality is always a perfect mirror of your inner world. This means if you want abundance, but deep down, you feel poor, you'll keep manifesting lack. That if you want love, but feel unworthy, you'll keep attracting relationships that reinforce that belief. That if you want success, but feel like a fraud, you'll sabotage your own progress every time. Jung said it best. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate. All the beliefs you've buried, all the wounds you haven't healed, all the fears you've tried to suppress, they're already shaping your reality. They're creating the exact circumstances that reflect your inner world back to you. But here's where the true magic lies. The moment you start doing the inner work, when you start healing those wounds and shifting those beliefs, your external world begins to transform automatically. You don't have to fight reality. You don't have to force anything. Change your inner world, and the outer world reorganizes itself. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to achieve your same goals with almost no effort? It's because, on the inside, they already feel like the person who has that result. They're not chasing a goal to become someone. They already are that person, and their outer reality simply follows suit. Here's a powerful exercise that can change everything. Pick a goal that really matters to you. Now stop focusing on how to achieve it. Instead, ask, how does someone who already has this goal feel? What do they believe about themselves? How do they think? How do they act? Start embodying those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs right now, before the goal shows up. This is what Jung called creative anticipation, that you're training your psyche to feel safe and comfortable in the new reality you're creating. But here's where most people get it wrong. They try to fake it from the ego. They force positive thinking. They pretend they feel confident when they actually feel unworthy. They put on a mask of success instead of healing the pain underneath. That doesn't work because your unconscious mind can't be fooled. Real transformation doesn't come from pretending to it comes from doing the deep work, the kind that heals the wounds that whisper, "You're not good enough. You don't deserve this. You'll never be loved." You have to go back, dig into your past, and find the moment those beliefs were born. Then you consciously choose to rewrite them. This is emotional archaeology, and Jung called it the process of bringing the unconscious into consciousness. That here's your fourth and most profound magician exercise so far. Identify your most limiting belief about yourself. Is it, "I'm not enough. I don't deserve love. Money is bad"? Now trace it back to its origin. When did you first learn this belief? Who taught it? To you, directly or indirectly? What situation made you internalize that message? Once you uncover the root, you can begin to dismantle it. You can choose a new, empowering belief and begin gathering real-life evidence to support it. And now, we arrive at the most powerful secret of the magician archetype, one that will completely revolutionize the way you manifest. Are you ready? The ultimate secret of the magician is this: you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe is safe. Read that again, because this single truth explains why so many people fail to create the life they dream of, even when they work hard, visualize, and do everything right. Your nervous system is hardwired to protect you from perceived danger. And here's the twist: it doesn't distinguish between a real threat and an emotional one. So even if you say you want love, abundance, or success, if part of you believes that having those things will bring rejection, judgment, or failure, your unconscious mind will block it. Not because it wants to sabotage you, but because it thinks it's protecting you. Let's say you grew up in a home where expressing your truth got you punished or ignored. As an adult, you might dream of becoming a public speaker or artist, but every time you try, you feel paralyzed. That's not laziness. That's not fear of failure. That's your nervous system saying, "It's not safe to be seen. It's not safe to be heard." The magician within you has to become the alchemist of your own system. You must rewire your nervous system to associate what you desire with safety. This is why Jung emphasized the integration of the unconscious. Because as long as your inner child is still stuck in trauma, as long as your shadow still believes you'll be punished for success, as long as a part of you feels unworthy of love, your reality will reflect those invisible fears, no matter how hard you try to manifest something different. But here's the good news: everything can change the moment you learn to regulate your inner world. Your fifth magician exercise is this: create a list of your deepest desires, the ones you haven't been able to manifest yet. Then, next to each one, write the answer to this question: what would feel unsafe about receiving this? Maybe success would bring more responsibility than you think you can handle. Maybe love would make you feel vulnerable to heartbreak. Maybe more money would cause conflict in your relationships. Once you're honest about those hidden fears, you can begin to work with them, not against them. You start gently showing your body that it's safe to have what you want, that it's safe to shine, safe to speak up, safe to love, safe to receive. And the more safety you feel on the inside, the more effortlessly your desires will manifest on the outside. This is the core of real transformation, that you're not just chasing goals. You're creating a new internal reality, one that's finally aligned with your essence. That's what the magician archetype does. He turns inner healing into outer power. That he turns emotional clarity into magnetic energy. He doesn't chase. He radiates. That he doesn't force. He attracts. That he doesn't beg. He commands with presence. But to access this archetype fully, you have to stop seeing manifestation as a wish list and start seeing it as an identity shift. The question is no longer, "How can I get this?" The real question is, "Who do I need to become, emotionally, mentally, energetically, to allow this into my life with ease?" Your sixth magician exercise is this: choose one desire that's deeply important to you. Now, every morning for the next 21 days, ask yourself, what version of me already has this? Then spend your day acting, thinking, feeling, even walking, as that version of you. Because here's the truth. You don't attract what you think you want. You attract what you're an energetic match for. And once you step into the frequency of your true self, not the wounded self, not the conditioned self, but the liberated self, you become unstoppable. This is where the real magic happens, that you'll start to notice people treating you differently. Opportunities will appear seemingly out of nowhere. Synchronicities will begin aligning in ways you can't explain. Not because the world changed, but because you did. This is the power Jung hinted at when he said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." The magician archetype doesn't just dream that he awakens, he activates the inner code of transformation. He makes the unconscious conscious, and from that place, he becomes the conscious creator of his reality. And now, so can you. And now you may be wondering, but how do I know if the magician has truly awakened within me? The answer is simple. You'll feel it, that you'll start recognizing patterns that used to control you, and choosing differently, that you'll begin honoring your energy, setting boundaries, and speaking your truth, not to impress anyone, but because it feels authentic, that you'll catch yourself turning down chaos and choosing peace, not out of fear, but because you finally understand your power. The awakened magician is not loud, that he doesn't need to prove himself, that he doesn't manipulate reality, that he works with it intuitively, wisely, and intentionally, that you'll feel a deep sense of inner alignment, as if your life, your choices, and your energy are finally moving in the same direction. That's how you know the magician is alive within you. Not because you control everything around you, but because you've remembered who you truly are within you. And from that place, you no longer chase transformation. You become it.so. If this message spoke to something deep inside of you, if it awakened a forgotten power, a silent knowing, or a quiet sense of purpose, then don't keep this moment to yourself. Share this video with someone who's ready to remember their power too. Someone who's been waiting for a sign to begin their transformation. Someone who's ready to stop being a prisoner of their past and finally become the creator of their future. And if you're ready to go even deeper into Jungian wisdom, archetypes, and the psychology of transformation, subscribe to the channel now and activate the bell, because this is just the beginning. The magician isn't just a concept, it's a living, breathing force within you, waiting for your permission to rise. You don't need to force it. You don't need to beg for it. You only need to choose it. And the moment you do, everything begins to change. Because when the unconscious becomes conscious, you stop repeating the same story and start creating a new 1.1 where your truth leads 0.1 where your energy guides. One where your inner world finally reflects in your outer life. Welcome back, magician. Your power was never lost. It was just waiting for you to remember.